It's almost 2 years into the pandemic. Parents are still struggling to make childcare work. The whole childcare industry these days is struggling to hire and to keep its classrooms open. Our Anusha Roy explains beyond the pandemic, the issue is inequality in the system.
Denver's Early Childhood Council surveyed 136 providers.
70% that said that they've had to close one or more classrooms in the last 2 months. And that's generally due to staffing.
60% said that they were short anywhere from 1 to 4 teachers because of an opening they're still hiring for, COVID exposures and time off.
And I think people underestimate the impact that childcare services have on the economy as a whole. If people aren't able to get care for their child, I don't know how they would go to work.
Yes, it looks like it's recovering a bit. There's still a gap compared to where female participation was pre-pandemic.
Ryan Gedney with the State Department of Labor is talking about the number of women who left their jobs during the pandemic. The rebound happened after schools started in-person learning again.
Good progress in 2021, and hopefully that does continue into 2022.
But the recovery of child care services jobs plateaued recently. We're well acquainted with the effects of COVID, staff having to quarantine, parents worried about putting their kids in child care during surges. But then there is an issue that is much older than the pandemic.
I mean, before the average was $13, $14 an hour. I mean, it's very low wages. It's a primarily female-driven field. There's a lot of minorities that work in ECE. Like, there's definitely some equity issues.
This month, minimum wage in Denver increased to just over $15 an hour to address wage inequality and cost of living.
I have someone that's been there for 20 years that's making 16. Well, how do you increase them equitably? Because the whole scale has kind of shifted. And there's no funding really for that sustainable salary piece.
So childcare services in this case, for this story, we're talking about outside of K through 12. And that trend in Denver, you're seeing it across the state as well. Now, some of those fundings are kind of coming in these short-term bursts. That's money that can go to bonuses and incentives to try to just keep people in the job. The state says it's also working on salaries for certain programs and providing funding so that people can get the qualifications to be hired in the first place, Kyle.
Anusha, a couple of things come to mind. Obviously, knowing that this is a woman-driven industry, and we know that the pandemic's had a disproportionate impact on the number of women in the workforce as families reshuffle things. And then as the industry says, well, let's incentivize people, their competitors in other industries have been incentivizing people for a year and a half.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And so all of those factors are also playing into the teachers in these classrooms as well. And so one of the things that happened is that there's also already a lot of turnover even before the pandemic. You have people who are being paid lower wages who still have to be qualified to get these jobs. And then sometimes they don't have health insurance, not great during a global pandemic. And then like you were talking, Kyle, right? You see all of these other industries throwing money to hire people, all of these added benefits. And some of these teachers were saying, hey, I want that job because it's meeting more of my needs right now. And then we lost even more teachers in the classroom.
All right, Anusha Roy, thank you very much.